For the following equations, we're going to find the vertices, foci, and their eccentricity. We're also going to determine the lengths of the major and minor axis and then sketch its graph. So for the first ellipse, x squared over 25 plus y squared over 9 equals 1 is a horizontal ellipse. And you can tell that by the fact that the bigger number is under x. So that means it's going to run longer along the x-axis. So x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared equals 1. So here, a equals 5 and b equals 3, the square root of each one. Now that I know that, I can find the vertices. So first off, let me use v for vertice. And you find the vertices for a horizontal ellipse at plus or minus a comma 0. So the vertice here, very simple to find, is at plus minus 5 comma 0. So there's the vertice for this ellipse. Next, we're going to find the foci, which I will just abbreviate as F. And that can be found at plus minus c comma 0. And to be able to find the foci, you need to know the equation for c, which is c squared equals a squared minus b squared. Make that 2 a little bit nicer. And so I can plug in a and b, so c squared equals 25 minus 16, 9, getting ahead of myself. C squared equals 16, so c is going to equal plus or minus 4. So the foci here are going to be at plus or minus 4 comma 0. Next, we're going to go with the major axis. And the length of that is just double a. So 2 times a. So 2 times 5, which is going to be 10. Then the minor axis length is just 2 times b. So 2 times 3, which is going to be 6. So we have the vertice, the foci, the major and minor axis length, and then finally we can find the eccentricity, E. And that you get from doing c over a, which in this case is 4 over 5. We have now found every piece that we need, so we can now graph it very easily by just looking at a and b. A is the vertice that runs along the x-axis, so plus minus 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But b is the minor axis length. It means run along the y-axis. So from the origin, we can go up 1, 2, 3. And then down 1, 2, 3. And then we can graph the ellipse. So connect the dots. And there we have the horizontal ellipse with the vertice, the foci, major and minor axis length, and its eccentricity. Next we have the ellipse 9x squared plus 4y squared equals 36, not in the correct form, and we know that because it's not set equal to 1. So the way we do this is we're going to divide everything by 36 to get it equal to 1. So when we divide every term by 36, we're going to get x squared over 4 plus y squared over 9 equals 1. And this is in the form that we need because it's set equal to 1, and the bigger number is under the y, so that means this is a vertical ellipse because it's running longer along the y-axis. So x squared over a squared, that should be b squared, plus y squared over a squared equals 1. So in this case, a equals 3 and b equals 2. Now we're going to find the vertice, so I'm going to initial that as v, and that can be found at 0, comma, plus minus a, which in this case, very easy to get because a is 3. So the vertice is at 0, comma, plus minus 3. Next, we're going to find the foci, which is going to be at 0, comma, plus minus c. And we find c the same way we did before. C squared equals a squared minus b squared. So c squared equals 9 minus 4. C is going to equal plus or minus the square root of 5. So subtract these together and square root, we'll get plus minus 5. So the foci is at 0, comma, plus minus root 5. Next, we're going to find the major and minor axis. So major axis length, same as before, 2 times a. So 2 times 3 is 6. And the minor axis length is 2 times b. So 2 times 2 equals 4. Eccentricity, same thing before. So I'm going to move it over here. So eccentricity is going to be c over a, which in this case is going to be square root of 5 over 3. So now that we have our vertices and everything else figured out, we can actually draw our ellipse. So again, we start off with our major vertices of 0, -3, and +3. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. But then we can follow the same path. Since b is along the x-axis, we're going to go 2 to the left and right. So 2 to the right, 2 to the left. And then we can draw our ellipse by connecting the dots. Not nearly as good as the last one, but it'll work. So there's our vertice, our foci, major and minor axis length, and our eccentricity, along with the sketch of our vertical ellipse.